It's in the chamber they met before, in Statuary Hall. It's my favorite place to take people on a tour. You see, it's where Abraham Lincoln served. Just a one-term congressman, sat in the back. I like to go to that spot, and I like to stand where he stood. I like to do it at night when people aren't around. I like to look over and look at the clock. Because that's the same clock and same view that Abraham Lincoln saw. I've watched Lincoln serve in the greatest challenge to our Constitution, the Civil War. I watched him take peoples who were rivals and put them together. I watched in a time that he did not know if a nation could sustain itself, but he dreamt of a future and built a railroad across the nation. I want us to all take a moment one time that you are here. I want you to stand there. I want you to look. And I want you to think. If America could do it then, we can do it now one more time. You know, Abraham Lincoln gave his life in service to this country. One of his most important observations about America applies today, as much as it did 160 years ago. He said, "We are striving to maintain the government and institutions of our fathers and to transmit them to our children and our children's children forever." My fellow Americans, that is still our mission today. This moment calls for restoring trust within our country and with each other. In that spirit, I will work with anyone and everyone who shares our passion to deliver a better future for the nation. I hope you'll join me. As a Congress, we can only operate if we cooperate. My door will be open. I'd like you to come by. I want you to see, as you walk down the hall, a large portrait of Lincoln. I want you to go into that conference room. I want you to see another portrait. My members know of this. It's of Washington crossing the Delaware. You all know the story. It happened on Christmas, 1776. There was no iPhone to take a picture. People wonder when it was painted. It wasn't painted by someone who was there. It was painted in 1850 and 1851. He was an immigrant who lived in America, Emmanuel Lincoln. You know why he painted it? Because he knew America was more than a country. America was an idea. He went home to Germany, and he wanted Germany to have a revolution based upon the values and freedoms that we defend every day. His talent was art. So he believed if he painted this painting, he could inspire his countrymen to rise up for the idea of freedom. Now, many historians will tell you he didn't. Washington crossed on a Durham boat, but he paints it with Washington in a rowboat. You see 13 people, but only 12 faces. You see Washington standing up in a rowboat in the middle of winter, wearing a ceremonial uniform with his hand on his chest. He looks so stoic. You would look at that man and you'd say, "I'd follow him anywhere." You probably believe that he never lost a battle.
Kevin Mccarthy đã bầu được làm chủ tịch Hạ viện sau khi mà nói chuyện lại Matt Gaetz bầu bị thua 16 thì ông đi năn nỉ mấy cái người đó để thương lượng thì mấy người đó đổi ý kiến. Thì bây giờ là chính thức là chủ tịch quốc hội đọc bài diễn văn đầu tiên được ngồi cái ghế quốc hội của bà Nancy Pelosi vừa mới giờ ra.
Rowing the strongest is a woman, and in the very back is a Native American.
Bầu lần thứ 15 mới đầu 14 nữa, 15 nó mới.
I don't know from a historic fact if they were in the boat that night, but to this young immigrant who had lived in America, that's who he believed would be in the boat. The second to last person is a farmer. He could be from Bakersfield, I'm not sure. His hand goes across his face. People will debate this part. But what I see is a hand of the 13th person nobody sees. You see, what I believe Emmanuel is saying is, here we are, battling for the creation of the idea of freedom. That every individual is equal, not a perfect nation, but striving to be a more perfect union. Having lost every battle against the greatest challenge with the strongest nation, having lost them all, but willing to do it on our holiest of nights, with a hand reached out and asking if you would join us. That's as true today as it was then. If we let everybody in the boat, if we row in the same cadence together, there is no obstacle this body can overcome for this nation. It is time for us to be the voice and worthy of their vote. Let me close with this. I may not know all of you, some of you are new, but I hope one thing is clear after this week. I never give up. I make this promise. I'll never give up for you, the American people. And I will never give up on keeping our commitment to America. Our nation is worth fighting for. Our rights are worth fighting for. Our dreams are worth fighting for. Our future is worth fighting for. Therefore, with love for this country and charity for each other, let us now take our oath and be worthy of the office on which we are about to enter. God bless everybody in this chamber, and God bless America. Not so fast, I have to get sworn in first. Sit down. I'm now ready to take the oath of office. I want to ask the Dean of the House, the Honorable Hal Rogers of Kentucky, one of my first mentors, to administer the oath of the office.
First, we want to offer bipartisan congratulations to the gentleman from California. Now will the Speaker designate raise his right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you're about to enter? So help you God.
Yes, I do.
Congratulations and Godspeed.
According to President, the chair will swear in the members-elect en masse. The members-elect will rise. The chair will now administer the oath of the office. All members-elect will raise their right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic? That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same? That you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God. Congratulations. You are now members of 118
hiện tại đó bắt đầu nó sẽ không ra ủy ban người nào là ủy ban thì cái ông Jim Jones này là ông tức là ủy ban tư pháp ngoại viện đó, ủy ban rất là quyền lực là cái ủy ban sự nghiên cứu điều tra số vấn đề hành pháp để cho vai đến CPC FBI của tư pháp và rồi những cái hồ sơ và ngày 6 tháng 1 ngày 6 tháng 1 đó là của tư pháp CPC họ block lại là không có muốn đưa ra cho công chúng sau 50 năm là không đưa ra.
All right, we got a little more business.
Làm một cái điều tra để mà
I hope that was worth the wait. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from New York, Ms. Stefani.
It is my humbled honor to be the first to address you from the floor of the People's House as Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as chair of the Republican Conference, I am directed by that conference to notify the House officially that the Republican members have selected as Majority Leader the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Steve Scalise.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar.
Mr. Speaker, as the chair of the Democratic Caucus, I have been directed to report to the House that the Democratic members have selected as Minority Leader the gentleman from New York, Mr. Hakeem Jeffries.
The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from New York, Ms. Stefani.
Mr. Speaker, as chair of the Republican Conference, I am directed by that conference to notify the House officially that the Republican members have selected as Majority Whip the gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Tom Emmer.
Ông này là nhân vật thứ 3 của Đảng Cộng hòa đó, Whip. Ở Hạ Viện đó, 3 người này. Áo đỏ là
The chair recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar.
Mr. Speaker, as chairman of the Democratic Caucus, I have been directed to report to the House that the Democratic members have selected as minority whip the distinguished gentlewoman from Massachusetts, the Honorable Catherine Clark.
Này là cái người bên đảng Dân Chủ, ông này là đại diện cho đảng Dân Chủ có chỉ số ở Hạ Viện. Trước khi đó, ông này là 11 năm.
Get it all done. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from New York, Ms. Stefani.
Mr. Speaker, I offer a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 1. Resolved that Cheryl L. Johnson of the state of Louisiana be and is hereby chosen Clerk of the House of Representatives. That Catherine Spendor of the Commonwealth of Virginia be and is hereby chosen Chief Administrative Officer of the House of Representatives. And that Reverend Dr. Margaret Grun Kibben of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania be and is hereby chosen Chaplain of the House of Representatives.
The gentlewoman from New York.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar, for the purpose of offering an amendment.
Mr. Speaker, I have an amendment to the resolution, but before offering the amendment, I request that there be a division of the question on the resolution so that we may have a separate vote on the chaplain.
The question will be divided. The question is on agreeing to that portion of the resolution providing for the election of the chaplain. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. This portion of the resolution is agreed to, and without objection, the motion to consider is laid on the table. Now, if we could just have all votes like that. Don't blame me for hoping. The gentleman from California.
Mr. Speaker, I offer an amendment to the resolution offered by the gentlewoman from New York.
The clerk will report the amendment.
Amendment offered by Mr. Aguilar of California for the remainder of House Resolution 1. That Tasia Jackson of the state of New York be and is hereby chosen Clerk of the House of Representatives. That William J. Walker of the state of Maryland be and is hereby chosen Sergeant at Arms of the House of Representatives. And that Gideon Breggin of the state of New York be and is hereby chosen Chief Administrative Officer of the House of Representatives.
The question is on the amendment offered by the gentleman from California. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. No. The noes have it. And the amendment is not agreed to. The question is on the remainder of the resolution offered by the gentlewoman from New York. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it. The resolution is agreed to, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Pursuant to the provision of Section 208A, the Legislative Reorganization Act of 1946, the chair appoints William McFarland of the state of Maryland to act and to exercise the duties of the Sergeant of Arms of the House of Representatives effective today.
Đổi mấy người cảnh sát khác, như là phân công những người cảnh sát an ninh ở trong cái Quốc hội Hoa Kỳ ở Hạ viện.
The chair will now swear in the officers of the House. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of which you are about to enter, so help you God. Congratulations. Okay. For what purpose does the gentleman from Louisiana seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, doesn't that have a good ring to it, Kevin?
Mr. Speaker, I offer a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 2, resolved that the Senate be informed that a quorum of the House of Representatives has assembled, that Kevin McCarthy, a representative from the state of California, has been elected Speaker, and that Cheryl L. Johnson, a citizen of the state of Louisiana, has been elected Clerk of the House of Representatives of the 118th Congress.
Without objection, the resolution is agreed to and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. For what purpose does the gentleman from Louisiana seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I offer an additional privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 3, resolved that a committee of the 2 members be appointed by the Speaker on the part of the House of Representatives to join with the committee on the part of the Senate to notify the President of the United States that a quorum of each House has assembled and Congress is ready to receive any communication that he may be pleased to make.
Without objection, the resolution is agreed to and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Pursuant to House Resolution 3, the chair appoints the following members to the committee on part of the House to join a committee on the part of the Senate to notify the President of the United States that a quorum of each House is assembled and that Congress is ready to receive any communication that he may be pleased to make. The gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise, and the gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. Oh. For what purpose does the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Rogers, seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I have a privileged resolution asked for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 4, resolved that the clerk be instructed to inform the President of the United States that the House of Representatives has elected Kevin McCarthy, a representative from the state of California, as Speaker, and Cheryl L. Johnson, a citizen of the state of Louisiana, as Clerk of the House of Representatives of the 118th Congress.
Without objection, the resolution is agreed to and the motion to reconsider is laid on the desk. What are we going to do? The chair would like to make a statement concerning the introduction and reference of bills. Since the rules of the 118th Congress has not yet been adopted, the rights of members to introduce bills and the authority of the Speaker to refer them is delayed. The chair will state that submitted bills will be held until adoption of the rules, at which time they will be referred to and, as possible, to appropriate committees. At that time, the bills which are not referred to and do not appear in the record as of that day will be included in the next day's record and printed with a date as of the time and of the rules were adopted. Under Clause 5D in Rule 20, the chair announces to the House that the whole number of the House is 434. For what purpose does the gentleman from Louisiana seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House stand adjourned until 5 p.m. on Monday.
On the motion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. All right, the ayes have it.
Rồi, đây là mình tạm chấm dứt. Cảm ơn tất cả quý anh chị em nha.